Hey, what's up, bosses? What's up, Patreons? This is Johnny FD, and welcome to episode 159 of the Invest Like a Boss podcast. Sam, good to see you on video. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, man, good. You know what? You're in a robe, and I'm in a dress shirt. This is very odd attire for us. Normally, we're shirtless, and we're both in a nice hotel. It looks like. That's not anything new, I suppose.
So let me show you guys around a bit. I don't know if you can see.
Nice hotel, Johnny. You're stepping it up from your hostel life.
Yeah, you know what? I've been staying here for about 2 weeks now. I booked this place for a month. I liked it so much.
Great.
Yeah, where are you?
Funny because this is a transition. This is a transition I see you going through now, where you're like, I'm cool with just living off whatever $1,500 a month, $800 a month, and then you go out on the yacht and start talking to Bill Perkins, and now I can see you're like, shit, chasing the superficial material life, the good life.
Yeah, and you have a Ukrainian girlfriend who likes like nice things. You're just like, all right, I can afford it. Let me enjoy life a bit. I might die any day now. I might get hit by a bus.
That's right. Yeah,
so
it's good to have someone push you along a little bit. You can always go back and retire into a much more simple version of yourself, right? At any point.
Yeah. So. That is true. And I had my first sip of alcohol last week as well. And last night. Second sip last night.
That's funny. I'm actually trying to practice Sober October right now. But what I've come to realize is that Sober October just means mostly sober. It's more of a guidance, not a necessarily a rule. But I've taken 2 days off. That's progress.
Yeah, for you, that's a huge deal. Congrats on that. Okay, so guys, in today's episode, we're going to be going over our quarterly updates, both with travel, lifestyle, goals, and most importantly, investing, what we bought, what we sold, and there's going to be a lot in there. And at the end of the episode, we're going to tack on the exclusive follow-up interview that I did with Bill Perkins after talking about MLPs, and that's going to be kind of available for everyone when this comes out. But actually, if you're a Patreon, which you are if you're watching this video, that actually came out 2 weeks ago as soon as I filmed it, just so you guys can get in early on that. So before we kind of dive into all the investing stuff, Sam, where in the world are you? Are you in Mexico?
I just got back from Mexico. So I'm in Greenville, South Carolina.
Nice.
I'm self-quarantining at a hotel here, just because I'm about to go see family and my girlfriend, and I thought it'd be respectful. So I got the COVID test. They're fast now. They're like, you can get rapid tests. They're like 10 minutes. The one I got was 1 day. So it was negative, but I just got back from Mexico. It's free.
Really?
Like every CVS and Walgreens do them now. It's like $50.
Okay.
But pretty much if you look up wherever you're at, and you just Google free COVID testing, most places I've found they'll do it like every third day at like a church or something. They'll have some institution come in and do the free one. So I found a free one.
Nice.
So it's
how many
good value?
Yeah, that's good value. How many days are you quarantining for it in your hotel?
3 days. 3 days.
Oh,
I didn't need to, but honestly, to be honest, it's way nicer here than in my Charlotte apartment I'm basically living in hotels full time right now until I get moved into the house. So
I'm actually living in the hotel full time now, but it's been nice not moving around.
Yeah, but you don't own 8 properties, Johnny. It's pathetic what I'm doing. I own 8 properties. I have access to 0 of them. So I own 8 properties. I am renting a place. And now I'm living in hotels full time. It's an extravagant waste of money.
It sounds like it. So did John McAfee finally move out of your Barcelona apartment?
Yeah, what happened with that? He just got nailed for tax evasion, right? And I think he got arrested.
Yeah, in Spain. So
it just goes to show you, man. I mean, you flick your nose up at the authorities for that long.
They'll come at you. Hot list. Yeah, I mean, with taxes, the IRS, you can get away with it for a while, but they will come after you, and they have, pretty much unlimited time. I mean, I think technically it's like 10 or 13 years, but I think they can always go after you.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, it stings. Like I just got my tax bill, right?
Okay.
Have you paid your taxes for 2019 yet?
Yeah, I paid it like 6 months ago. You realize it's like October, right?
Yeah, no, I always file extension because I have shit coming in from all these random
Yeah.
places that take time to get, you know, a lot of my statements I didn't get till like a month or two ago. So I always file an extension. But I pay usually an estimated payment like 4 or 5 months ago, 6 months ago. My total tax this year, and it wasn't any capital gains. It was all on earned income, like not earned, but ordinary dividend, interest, stuff like that. $122,000 of tax. And I was like, I just got that bill. I'm like, oh, I don't have like 122,000 in cash. So I literally have to go sell shit to pay my tax. And it stings, right? Because I mean, first off, it never feels like you're making that much money, especially when it's not a big capital gain, right? It's, and then like I'm in Mexico and you meet all these people that are like, oh, I don't pay taxes.
Yeah.
Like this one dude is probably 65 and he's like, I've never paid taxes. He's like, I was 24 and they kept sending me all these, IRS kept sending me all these threatening letters and I called them and I'm like, why are you guys sending me these letters? He's like, well, you haven't filed your taxes. You're not paying your taxes, you know, blah, blah, blah. You're delinquent. And he goes, oh, it's because I don't have a job. They're like, you don't have a job. How are you living? He's like, oh, I'm living with my girlfriend. She's fully supporting me. And the IRS goes, oh, that's really nice of her. He's like, yeah, I think so as well. They go, all right, well, once you get a job, just make sure you file and, we'll stop sending you letters for now.
Yeah.
And another 30 years go by, he hasn't paid. But I mentioned this to my accountant. I'm like, such bullshit. Like I'm doing everything by the book. I'm paying on all these complex foreign structures that, frankly, I know a lot of people don't pay. And he's basically like, yeah, at some point they're all going to get nailed. Or you're the guy that only has, 50,000 in net assets. And like, yeah, they're probably never going to go after you, but you want to take that road and like hide in Mexico and do shit the illegal way.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and that's what these guys are doing down there. So,
yeah, for some people that is a good life, a good choice, but I would say you're in a better position. Did you qualify for the foreign earned income exclusion this year?
No, because I don't have any earned income this year. And also I've been in the States the entire year, but next year it looks like I will. And that's, that's a bit, I mean, basically all of my tax came from, most of my tax is from actually the Maple Tree REITs in Singapore. And I've got like a $600,000 gain on those over the course of 4 or 5 years. And because, and it's a REIT, Johnny, right? So it's like, if it was a US based REIT, it would not be gains until you sold it, right? Just like any other stock. But because it's a foreign asset, it's considered like a PFIC. You have to pay tax on the unrealized gain. So if it goes up 30% a year, and it's not capital gains, it's ordinary income. So I'm getting nailed, but they've been such good investments. And I'm like, I don't want to sell them just because I'm paying a lot of tax on them because they're, they've been incredible, but it still stings at the end of every year.
But if it ever goes down, you've already paid tax on it and you probably can't get that back unless you do what Trump did, I guess.
No, you can. It goes as an ordinary loss. So if it goes down 30%, if I lose 100,000 mark to market, I would write that off as an ordinary loss. So that is a good thing in a sense, a silver lining. But yeah, I mean, on the way up, you get cremated.
That is crazy. There has to be some way where you can just not pay tax on that. I mean,
yeah, sell it.
We'll figure it out. I'll put you in touch with my accountant.
Right. Yeah, that'd be good. I want a second opinion.
Yeah. You know what? I think that's a good point. It's always good to have a second opinion. California sent me a letter. California is, the IRS, I guess, sent me a letter in the mail a few weeks ago saying, hey, Johnny, we noticed that you haven't filed or paid California state taxes in the last couple of years. Where's our money? And first off, I was like, okay, California is broke because everyone's leaving because their policy everyone hates. My favorite YouTuber, this guy from Geography Now, it's a random geography channel. He posted a message saying that he's going to temporarily stop making videos because he wants to spend all of his time cleaning up literal garbage from the streets in his house, like in front of his house, because he says he just can't focus and he can't write scripts. He's like, I can't work or I can't film while this is going on. And I'm like, just
why?
move.
People are like,
get out of there.
Dude, people are just polluting the streets and littering.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's just, he said it's so bad.
Honestly, I think that's the world's worst offense.
Yeah.
Like littering. I think it's the world's worst offense. Like, I think it's worse than like aggravated assault, like whatever, because you can't justify it. Like if you walk up to someone and you punch them in the face, you're justifying it for a reason. But if you just take like a Pepsi can and just throw it on the street, there's no way you can justify that. You're just a piece of shit.
I don't know. Well,
piece of shit.
These guys are living in tents in front of his house, so they're like, I don't have a garbage can. I'm just gonna throw my stuff in your driveway.
It's fucked up, man. I hate hearing that stuff.
Yeah,
I hate hearing that stuff. I mean,
well, it's good you don't live in California.
Yeah, no, but you do see it a lot in the States for some reason. Probably see it in India a lot too, but I've never been. So
yeah, so it's crazy what's going on, back in California. That's a huge reason why I left and I'll never move back, and luckily I was able, my accountant Grace, she was able to just write a letter, have me sign it. She sent it in for me, and California wrote back saying we will not pursue this case for now, which means hopefully forever.
For now.
Yeah. And I'm like, look, like check my records. Like I haven't even been in California in the last 5 years.
Yeah. I would say that's pretty black and white for you. There's not a whole lot of concern, right?
Yeah. But I think they're desperate. I think California is desperate for tax money. And that's what they're going after small fish like me for back in 2016, where I was actually earning money, and they're like, oh, this guy, what's this Shopify 1099 for $250,000 that he never paid.
Well, I've heard this recently that 98% of California taxes is paid by the 1% of Californians in terms of the absolute amount. So they're not actually worried about the masses leaving, they're worried about that 1% leaving. The San Francisco people that are moving to the Nevada side of Tahoe, like those type of people that have all the money that are making the move. If they move, then there's some serious trouble, or they have to start getting more money from the smaller guys.
So I was looking into where I would live if I move back to the US. I'm a Texas resident, so I'll go there first, obviously. But if I was going to move from there, there's two places I'll think about. Besides Florida, I don't know. I don't want to be Florida man, but
Florida's a crazy place nowadays, man.
It's always been crazy, but now I can imagine now.
Yeah.
So one would be Portland, Washington. Have you heard of this city?
Okay. No, Washington's pretty okay.
So it's actually I think it's Portland, Washington. It's on the border of Seattle and Oregon. And I believe Seattle has no income tax and Oregon has no sales tax. So if you live on the border, you can technically earn all your money, income tax free, and then go across the border. It takes 20 minutes and do all your shopping, and then you can save on sales tax.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that's number one. The second would be Tennessee. I don't know if Nashville or somewhere else. Good. They as of I think next year, they're going to be the 9th tax-free state, completely tax-free.
Yeah. Tennessee's going to blow up.
Yep.
It's going to blow up. I was just over there like 2 weeks ago right for Mexico. And the guy there that's living there, he's like, that's kind of news, but we've never had tax here. Like, no, people just, no one really pays tax. State doesn't enforce shit. And it's a cool, Tennessee's a cool place. Like,
yeah,
it's got great culture and tons of recreation, like all types of recreation, surrounded by pretty cool states in the Appalachians. You got the Appalachian Trail that runs right through it. It's pretty sick. I like Tennessee a lot. Good location in the southeast,
Yeah, I like it. So Sam, I guess that's our travel and kind of life tax avoidance updates.
Not me, just Johnny.
Yeah. I am paying my taxes, just to let you know. This year I paid $4,500 in tax.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. But ridiculous. It's because I'm overseas.
You get helped out so much by the foreign earned income exclusion. That's like,
that's a huge part of it.
That's the big one.
Yeah. And the second is just having everything basically be a business expense. Like, I would plan my travels around the conferences, around, stuff like that. But this year is a little bit different. This year, basically 12 months in Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
I just got done doing a 2-week paid trip by the Sri Lanka Tourism Board.
Yeah.
4 and 5-star hotels, all for free food, free transport for 2 entire weeks. And I'm making money from the YouTube channel now. So it's kind of like a double whammy.
You're starting to look a little Sri Lankan. I gotta be honest.
Yeah. Or maybe
Yeah.
more Genghis Khanish, more Mongolian.
Yeah. Nice. So what's big on your quarter for the finances and investment? You're making more money now, it seems like.
No, so actually, I'm actually not making more money. I think I've really taken the Bill Perkins approach to heart, where I've decided, you know what, I'm getting closer to this big 1 million goal, but I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. Like I think it could have happened if I took bigger risks, even like beginning this year during the kind of beginning of the pandemic. If I just put everything, into into stocks, I might actually be a millionaire today. But nobody knew that was going to happen. Everybody was holding cash, and I think it was a prudent thing to do. So instead of kicking myself in the butt about it, I had decided, you know what, I'd rather just go slow and steady. I'll hit it eventually. If I don't, it's not going to change anything. So what I started doing is I started actually spending more money. That's why I'm staying in a hotel for a month. It's still not that expensive. It's $1,500 or $1,600 for the month, but that's 3 times as much as I would normally spend. But I just figure, like, where else in the world am I gonna be able to stay in a true 4-star hotel with a infinity pool on the roof and a sick gym and a jacuzzi and steam room and like amazing breakfast for $1,500 a month? Like, you can't do that in the US. You can do it for like 3 days in the US. Yeah. So I figured, let me just spend some money, enjoy myself, and let it either not grow, hopefully not dwindle, but not grow. So this quarter, kind of big things I did. One is I bought a ton of individual stocks, which is something I normally never do.
A reversal. Yeah.
Yeah. So the ones that I got were those casino stocks with with MGM. I'm gonna pull it up here. Actually, maybe I'll just pull it up so everyone can see it on the screen. So can you see my screen? Does it have to be big, or can you see it now? Is it?
Looks great. Yeah, it looks fun.
Okay, cool. All right. So with the individual stocks, I had the Halliburton stocks, MGM, and Secret Financial that I bought kind of during the dip. All of those are up. But I also bought a bunch of MLPs after speaking with Bill Perkins. Unfortunately, bad timing, because all that just crashed down. I added in another column. I replaced like the reinvest dividend column with a gain loss percentage column, so you can see how much went down. But yeah, basically the week I bought it, everything dropped 10%.
Well, it's been on like a whatever. It's gone down like 300% in the last 5 years or 4 years or something, right?
Yeah.
So it's continuing a trend. You're just hoping to catch it at the bottom.
Exactly. And, at the end of the day, this is going to be a long-term hold. And as long as it's paying those dividends, I'm okay with it. But anyone listening now, it's actually a better time to buy than when I bought a week ago. So you're welcome, guys.
Cool. Well, I'm actually looking forward to seeing and hearing more about that strategy. I haven't watched the video yet that you recorded with Bill Perkins on it specifically, but there's a lot to unpack in MLPs and like the strategies behind them and stuff. So
yeah, I can imagine that. And should I quickly go through my Vanguard and Wealthfront? Okay. Yeah. So up next would be Vanguard.
You still hold Facebook, by the way?
Yeah. So I actually sold a bunch of it. Now I have 100 shares left. I had 200 before, so I sold half. Everything's still up. So I'm up 20 grand in my Facebook account.
I would hold that.
Yeah, I am going to hold it. I mean, who knows what it's going to go to, but it's kind of, Facebook's one of those things where I'll hold it until I really need to sell something for something else.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like I don't see myself needing anything anytime soon.
Johnny, one word, 3 syllables.
Okay.
Oculus.
You know what? I can
Oculus is going to
see.
be.
Yeah, I
It's
can
going to
see
be
that
the
doing
next
well.
cell phone. It's going to be the next cell phone and the next app
Yeah,
store.
but who knows
It's going to
when,
be big.
man? That's
It's going
the
to be
problem.
big.
That's the
I just
problem.
bought a headset.
How's VR porn? Is it good yet?
Haven't checked it out yet, but everything else
Okay.
is surreal, man. I
I can
wrote this.
imagine.
I wrote this like somewhere mid-quarter that if you watch the movie Ready Player One and then
Yeah.
put on Oculus headset, your mind will be blown, and you can't think of anything that won't be disrupted by it. I mean,
Yeah.
everything's gonna be.
I agree.
No more of these in like 10, 15 years. It's gonna be small headsets, and that's gonna be all day, every day.
I 100% agree, but I don't know when it's going to be, and I believe it's going to be a
hold
lot.
Your Facebook stock.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do.
Yeah,
that's all you got to do.
Wait, does Facebook own? Does Facebook own Oculus?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just hold it.
Yeah,
I'm done. Good.
Yeah, no,
all right.
That's there.
So up next is Vanguard. In here, I have my normal funds, but I also bought Fenny, which is the Fidelity Energy Index a while back, and I think that's actually, I don't remember how much I bought. Did I buy 6,000 or 8,000? But either way, it's relatively the same. But you can see September was a terrible month for pretty much everyone. I lost 12 grand, or actually 14 grand that month. 14,400 that month in gains, but the dividends paid 1,700, and I haven't sold, so technically I'm okay. And then this month already in October, and it's only been a few days, it's already back up, 4,000. So as long as my ending balance keeps slowly going up over the years, I'm okay with just holding here.
Yeah.
And I think last but not least, for as far as stock wise goes, is my Wealthfront account, and then we'll have you do kind of the same as well. So with Wealthfront, I have the two sides. One is my kind of IRA account that's at a risk score 8, and then the other one is my individual kind of taxed account, which I put at a risk score 10. The big difference is the risk score 10 one, the highest risk one, has I think it has kind of other, like, has energy in there, and that dropped by 50%, 45% over the lifetime. But my risk score 8, everything's up, so pretty happy with that overall.
Good.
Yeah. What about you, Sam? How's your stocks and indexes looking?
Well, it was good. So everything was led by Tesla this quarter. Let me pull up what I got. Got some stuff to show you. Got some interesting updates.
I'm excited.
All right. Desktop or Chrome? Let's see Chrome. I'm a little nervous. What's going to pop up here? Oh, okay. Actually,
you have like 1,000 tabs open. There's Wikipedia articles, Pornhub.
You know what? Oh, so you can see all this stuff. All right.
Yeah.
Wow. No hiding it. Actually, all these Wikipedia tabs, this is more on the personal side. Philosophy, all philosophy.
Wow.
Roman Greco philosophers, Buddhism, Bhagavad Gita. And dude, that's been my big personal project this quarter. And I think it's going to be a big part of what I do going forward. It's really interesting to find out and realize what the smartest minds of 2,500 years ago were thinking about. And they're thinking about and contemplating the same exact shit that goes through our heads every single day.
Oh my God.
It's a different setting, but same problems, same struggles, same desires. And I think it's fascinating.
To me, that just shows that if they couldn't figure it out and we couldn't figure it out by now, let's not even think about it. Cause let's just ignore it.
Well, they think they did figure it out, right? But it's an opposite course of what everyone takes. It's like Ready Player One, again, to reference that movie. At the start of the race, when everyone drives forward as fast as they can, and the one guy just goes backwards and finds that secret door because no one thinks to take that course.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Humans in life, we get born, we get driven to this forward goal. We're always living in the future or the past, and we desire and yearn and grieve and anguish and all this other shit. And we don't live in the present. We don't just sit down and relax and try to calm our minds. Yeah. And if you can do that, you can unlock this state of like ecstasy that normal people only get when they take ecstasy, right? And it's pretty profound. Anyways, more on that to come. Real quick, so big project this quarter, started the renovation of my Barcelona apartment. Can you see that?
Nice. Yeah.
So this used to be a huge wall right here that divided 2 rooms. So we took out that wall.
Okay.
And then it's going to open up 2 kind of, you can see classical Barcelona balconies.
Yeah, nice.
We'll let in a lot of light. So this will be kind of like family room, chandelier, dining room area. And the cool thing with this apartment, it's got balconies on both sides of the apartment. So there's on this side, if you walk across the other side of the apartment down the hallway, there's balconies on both sides.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So they got everything ripped down, and now they're starting to put up all the new stuff. So looking like December 1st, and I'm super stoked about this. It's been fun, even though I haven't been able to be there to be part of it.
But you're getting the updates. That's nice.
Yeah. So we'll keep posting stuff in there. Patrons, if you guys have any questions about the renovation or the process, just DM me or put it in the Patreon group. So probably the most interesting updates is this quarter. So I've had my first startup win, Johnny.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm excited.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I've been waiting for this for 5 years.
Right. This is a big one. So you want to guess which one it was?
Okay. So probably not coworker.
Thanks.
I would imagine Deliver Logic.
It's a good guess, right? Because food delivery is soaring right now. So, and this is why this is great that we're doing the quarterly updates in this fashion now, smaller group, because I couldn't talk about this with a bigger public group, right? Okay. It's not official news yet. I probably shouldn't even be talking about it with a small group, but it's fine. Okay. So it's actually Patient.
Wow.
Nice. And the funny thing is this is also my newest investment, right? I've only been invested in this company for probably like 15 months or something, 14 months. So I was first money into this company, like, just a paper concept. I put in the first $50,000 just to get them to be able to create some, a web and a quick app and stuff like that. Then I reinvested another 20,000 into their official seed round, which was about $1.2 million. And it's got a lot of velocity. So when I first invested, it was under $1 million valuation. They've just secured funding for a Series A on a $15 million valuation. It'll bring the post-money valuation of the company up to about $19 million. And what happened was there's so many VC funds that were interested in getting into this deal that the other VCs that are in the deal, they didn't want to dilute that much. So they said, you guys can't come in. But those other funds would be very valuable to have into the company because they have great networks and a lot of resources. So we had a discussion among shareholders, said, okay, well, we want to get these guys in. No one wants to dilute more. Is any of the early investors willing to sell their shares?
Okay.
So myself, I got in a couple of people in my network to invest after me. And long story short, so that there's going to be a new VC fund coming in that's going to buy out part of my shares and all of the shares of a couple of the guys that got into it at the valuation of the round, which will be about $15 million. So I invested at about $1 million valuation. So I'm basically going to make more than, it's going to end up being about 10x.
Wow. Okay.
On part of my shares. So I put in 70. I'm going to sell about somewhere around like 30% of my shares.
Okay.
To the company at a 10x valuation. So I'll get about 3 times my initial investment back. Call it like 180,000. And
you'll still
I'll still maintain about 70% of my shares, which is
that's fantastic.
Not an insignificant amount of shares. And another great thing about it is the guys that I brought in, they're making 3x their money in 12 months. They put in 50, they're getting back about 170. So it's like,
So
big
they're all
quick
happy.
win for them. Everyone's happy.
Yeah.
The founder's happy because that money got them to this, be able to drive quick and get to the stage. Now they're bringing in new VCs. They'll help them get to the next stage. So it's like, so far it's happy for everybody.
Yeah. And that's cool that they actually had this discussion and allowed you guys not to dilute the shares. Cause that's normally the worst part about investing in these early stage startups is you just get diluted. So even if there's a 200% gain, like you end up just not making that much money.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. The dilution is crazy. I mean, between the investment rounds and then what really will nail you, which is unexpected, is the employee stock option pools.
Yeah.
So you create 10%, but then you do another VC round and they're like, okay, we want you to refresh that, the stock and stuff. And you just keep refreshing it. So pretty good point in case, like this Glints, I was first money into this company too, $1 million valuation. They're at a $50 million valuation right now. I actually, in this last quarter, I invested another $35,000 into this company, into a bridge round that's before their Series C. They're anticipating raising $15 million for their Series C coming up. But on paper, I don't have that much of a gain. You would think, wow, someone look at it, say you invest at $1 million, it's 50 million valuation, you must be up close to 50x. But in fact, I'm probably up honestly, I'm probably up 2 to 3x right now.
Wow.
On paper, which is nuts, right?
Yeah.
But so many things can go wrong in the early stages of these companies that you have to do that to basically keep the team motivated and companies going. So Patient was a win. Black Ops is doing incredibly well. They had their best 3 months during COVID. They're doing over $1 million a month right now in revenue. They're expanding quickly. So, great company to be a part of, and awesome job of navigating COVID with innovations like home delivery and home brews and stuff like that.
Nice.
Galince is doing well. Deliver Logic's doing extraordinarily well right now. This company was dying 6 months ago before COVID. We couldn't keep up with Uber Eats and Grubhub, and all these guys were eating our lunch, literally, figuratively.
So what happened? What made COVID?
Food deliveries just got such a massive shot of adrenaline. And with that, Deliver Logic drives independent operators. So we don't power the technology of the big Grubhubs and the Uber Eats. We power the small guys. And Grubhub and Uber Eats was destroying all the small guys. They were consolidating the market, and they were winning out in every market and driving the small operators out. But with COVID, it's created this new wave of entrepreneurs in the food delivery space. So people that got fired from the job are like, okay, what can I do as a business? Well, I'll become a small food delivery operator, and we can turnkey your setup for $100. And you're ready to go. All you got to do is go out and get like a driver, or you can do the driving yourself. And you get a couple of restaurant contacts and you're off. So the whole industry has got lifted, but then the small operators have gotten lifted, which has helped Deliver Logic.
Nice.
So that's pretty much it for the startup portfolio. I think right now the way things are set up, I've got over $1 million invested into these 8 companies, and I think I'm looking pretty good. I mean, you never know with these things. They could all hit, or they could all still lose, right? Except for Patient, which I'm hopefully getting a payout next week. But so you can never bet on any of these. But the way things are looking right now between Patient, Black Ops, and Glints, those should all, if any one of those hits as it's expected to hit, it should pay for all the rest. And if 2 of them hit, then I'll have definite gains. If 3 of them hit, then I'll have really sizable gains on the overall portfolio. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it now.
I'm very happy for you, Sam. That's been a
thanks.
That's very different. Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a long journey, but paid off.
Yeah. So startup stuff's been good. Funny thing is, so now between Patient, I'll have my biggest gains ever on an investment will be, except for the company I started, which I didn't technically invest money, will be Tesla, which I'm up 10x, Patient, which I'm up 10x, and Bitcoin, which I was up something ridiculous, 500x or something. So I wanted to show you guys my E-Trade portfolio. So E-Trade is it's kind of you can buy basically anything here, from stocks to Vanguard funds to municipal bonds, whatever. So Tesla, you can see my you can see my gains in here, and I've sold probably half my Tesla stock. And again, this is off like an initial investment of it was I don't know, $20,000 to $30,000 or something, right?
Wow.
So big gains in there. I still think Tesla will become one of the 5 biggest companies in the world in the next 5 years. So no intentions to sell more, but most of this portfolio is loaded up with municipal bond funds. I added to this recently. I picked up EVZ, this one, EVN. I posted this in the Patreon group. So whenever I buy municipal bond funds, I don't rely on myself. I go to someone who studies this every day, which is Michael Foster. We had him on the podcast. I shoot him a quick text message. He runs an analysis and he sends back 2 or 3 picks. I look at those 2 or 3 picks and I pick one that I like. And I usually do these in kind of like, I started doing them in $50,000 chunks. And by kind of rule, a $50,000 investment in any of these funds will pay out about $2,500 a year. They usually yield about 5%. The good thing is it's all tax-free. Oh, nice. So when you go up to E-Trade's got this calculator that is called estimated income. And with that, you can see how much, based on what you own, what they anticipate that you're going to make every single month coming up, which is pretty cool. I mean, you kind of get this in like Vanguard, just have it in the back of your head, but here's sort of a visual. So I'm earning about $3,000 a month on average. Yeah, and nice. Almost all of this is tax-free. So my goal with this is to be able to get this up to, double or triple so that I can pretty much live my entire life off tax-free earnings, and make my portfolio super efficient. Because right now it's really not. My overall investment portfolios, it actually is pretty efficient if you if you ask someone outside to look at it. But for me, I feel like I'm still paying way too much in tax for effectively not living in this country or driving on the roads or anything like that. So so that's E-Trade. If you guys have any questions on that or any of the funds that I'm in, feel free. There's also some big losers in here. There's Senior Housing Trust, which I bought after Mr. Money Mustache like 4 or 5 years ago. Like, I'm in this REIT and it's paying out 12%. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know anything about REITs at that time. And I picked that up. And if you guys remember the REIT episode when we had on, I think Brett Owens, and he's like, oh, you own Senior Housing Trust? He's like, I'd get out of that. Like pick up Omega Health or something instead. And I didn't listen to him. And that is basically look at it here. 26,000 is the value, but look at the loss. 121,000. So I put in 150,000 into this REIT. And it's down, what's it down? 82%.
That sucks.
And it's got horrible I mean, I don't want to harp on it, but it's, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
On the other hand, I got Mapletree. Can you see this?
Yep.
So these things I put in about $500,000 into right after sold the SkySig company in like 2014. Basically they're up like 2x, right? Okay. So $500,000's turned into more than $1 million, but I've had to pay mark-to-market gain tax on that. So very tax inefficient. But here's an example of a REIT with really good management that's done incredibly well. So that's Mapletree Logistics. I also own Mapletree Industrial, almost the exact same flight path.
And are these paying dividends as well?
Years. Yeah, they pay on average. They used to pay like 6.5. Now they're paying like 4.5.
But still good.
If you add that up with the share price appreciation, I mean, these things have been rocket fuel. Been incredible. So these are an example of REITs doing really well, and the other one, Senior Housing, is REIT doing really bad. So these things you have to know the underlying assets. You have to have good management. Here's Art of FX. They've had a great year so far. I think they're on track to do about 17%. They've really done well through COVID, which I love. It's just an alternative, non-correlated investment. As you guys know, I pulled out about half of my account to help finance my Barcelona condo last year. So I still have everything in here right now is play money because it's all gains. I've got all my principal out.
Oh wow,
nice. I'll have a good balance here. That's that's clicking along really well. So
I
happy with that.
I did the exact same with the Art of FX. I pulled out my 20, and I think it was like 18 or 19 grand to try to buy that business last year in December. Didn't go through. So 2 months ago, I put another 10 grand into Art of FX, reopened my account. So that's all the kind of play money that all my gains pretty much. So it's only been 2 months. It's only 10 grand, but I'm back in. Another one of these kind of high risk, high reward, non-correlated assets. So I do like them, but it is a pretty small part of my portfolio.
Yeah. The other thing I did this quarter, I put this in Patreon group. I put in a request to pull out my AHP servicing funds. I put that in at the outbreak of COVID in like first week of March type of thing. And they said it would be 60 days before I could get my redemption back.
Okay.
They just circled around last week, and that has been more than 6 months, and said, we're now ready to redeem your funds.
Okay.
And frankly, like, I think the storm's been weathered.
Yeah.
But it kind of annoyed me. Like, that whole process annoyed me.
Yeah.
That it was going to take 2 months to begin with, and then it ended up taking 6 months. And I said, I like them, but I have virtually the same account with PPR fund note, which I actually like them slightly better. Okay. So I'm liquidating my AHP account, one less account to file paperwork with. And sadly, I'm going to use that money in part to pay for my $122,000 tax bill.
Ouch.
So I'm not going to be reinvesting it. I'm just going to be doling it out.
Ouch. So I did the exact opposite of you. I was forced out of PPR notes because they got rid of the 12% fund and they wanted to downgrade me to the 10% fund, which I was okay with, but I had to recertify as an accredited investor, and I'm no longer technically accredited because my income dropped so much. I only had over 200K in revenue, before, because I had my dropshipping stores, but now they're not under my name. So basically I can prove like 40 grand a year in income and I don't have a million in net worth yet. So yeah, they kicked me out. They gave me a $20,000 check and I took that money and I put it into AHP. So
AP. So guys, there's two different paths that you can follow right there. I mean, both of them have been solid, right? We've never missed a payment from any of them. As far as we know, they've never been in any type of turmoil. I think things were getting a little hairy when COVID broke out. We didn't know how any assets were gonna really gonna perform, but so far, nothing bad to say about any of them. I don't like accounts that you don't know when you can get your money out. Yeah, sort of arbitrary. There's no rule. So that was pretty much it.
Yeah,
so one less account.
All right. Anything else?
You know what? I have how do I share the screen again? I don't know.
Share screen.
I can't find it. Oh, share screen. I just want to show you one more thing. This was it's on a personal level, but can you see that photo?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
So this is where I was a couple of days ago. It's a very small town, but just putting this on people's radar. It's called San Carlos. It's in the Sea of Cortez in the northwest of Mexico. So think of Phoenix, Arizona. You go south of Phoenix, Arizona, about 5-hour drive, and you're on the Sea of Cortez. It's a stunning place. Very, very few tourists. It's dry, so there's no mosquitoes like on the east coast of Mexico.
Nice.
If you want to do like water sports or whatever, but really, really good value place. This was a 3-bedroom villa Airbnb that I got for $120 a night, and it's kind of hard to see the depth of this, but this is about 250 feet up, right on the edge of a cliff.
Wow.
So if people that have been to like Greece and Santorini, very, very comparable. Food's amazing. People are super hospitable. If you just want to go and chill out and like do some sailing or relax, it's a really good place. It's quite close to the U.S., easy to get to from the U.S. So good spot. Check it out. San Carlos, Mexico.
Speaking of which, Sam, are you officially a seaman now? Did you finish your sailing
I
course?
I got two certifications. My first two sailing certifications, ASA 101 and ASA 103. But you know what? I realized like doing this stuff and also reading philosophy all the philosophers are basically like, know thyself, right? That's like a quote from 600 BC. And a lot of the philosophers study that are like, know yourself, know what you like and you don't like. And focus on what you like in life. Like, don't do shit just to do shit.
Yep.
Like, don't do things just to check the box. Like, know what you like. And one thing I don't really like is salt water. And like, I mean, I don't like being in salt water and like getting splashed and stuff like that.
Okay.
I like a motorboat. Like, I like being on the ocean. I like being on the beach, but I don't want, like, sailing is a lot of work.
Yeah.
So I'm a motorboater. So when I get to Barcelona, I want to get a motorboat. I was thinking about getting a sailboat, but what I realized through that experience was, life's short. I'm just going to get a nice, motorboat with a lot of deck space. Because the problem with sailboat is like, you don't have a lot of usable deck space most of the time. So if you want to take 10 people out and have a good time, it's not the ideal boat. So yeah, that was my realization with sailing.
Okay.
Know thyself.
At least it sounds like you had a good trip. I really love Mexico. Actually, yesterday I was thinking about, I was like, should I leave Sri Lanka and go to Mexico? Because that's the only place that Christina and I, with her Ukrainian passport, can go. But I think we're going to stay put for a while. But in terms of...
Well, let me ask you real quick.
Yeah.
When you were in Playa del Carmen last year, did you go down to Tulum?
Yeah.
Did you go down to like the beach road where it's like sort of dirt road and you have like little juice shops and everything on both sides of the road?
Maybe, but mainly we went down to kind of like the resort road. I was only for a day.
Okay, so I did the same thing last time I went to Playa del Carmen. I spent 6 weeks. I went to Tulum and I went downtown and I went to like 2 resorts.
Yeah.
But I didn't do the main drags, which are way, way cooler. Like, I didn't even know this existed. But Tulum is really cool. I mean, it will remind you of like a mix of Koh Samui and Ibiza, basically.
Yeah.
Like, little juice, acai bowl places, bars with swings and stuff, like all the way down the road on both sides. And arguably the most beautiful beaches in the world.
Yeah.
So give that an extended look next time you're down.
Yeah, I do like Mexico. I encourage anyone who's in the U.S. who wants to get out, head down to Mexico because it's open, it's cheap, food's amazing, and I think it's a good place to be.
You won't be the only people with that idea. There's a lot of Americans down there just like, I'm waiting until COVID lifts to go back.
Yeah, it's just hanging out down there. So I'm going to share my last screen. Can you see this? This is my entire net worth broken down month by month.
Damn, the holy grail of investing.
Holy grail, guys. Yeah.
For people on the path to $1 million, this is it.
Yeah. Look, when we started, I mean, you can't even see it because there's too many line items. But even 2017, I was at 563,000, so $500,000, and now I'm at 826,000. Growing even during this pandemic this year. So during that time, it dropped to the low of 695,000. You would have from $750,000. So you would thought I would panic then, but I knew that I could just stay put. We've learned the lessons. We know we're diversified. I didn't sell anything, and it's grown back up to more than it was. Way more, like 100. Wow, I guess almost $100,000 more than it was this time last year. Like 30 and so $90,000 more than it was last year. So hopefully, if this continues for 3 more years, I'll be at $1 million.
I love your $350 startup investment.
That might never ever get back.
Yeah, man. I would have probably said just go out to treat yourself to a nice dinner instead of doing that.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun. I mean, you're learning something by being in it. That's part of the journey.
And honestly, I mainly did that because Jinjan is this African like pineapple and vanilla juice. And you get a free case if you invest at least $250.
Well, yeah.
Perks, or something. Yeah.
Perks are worth it. Yeah.
But ironically,
what about, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll say it got sent to my parents' house, and it had an expiration date. Like, so they drank it. They said it was okay. So I never even got that perk.
Good. That's funny. Do it again. Double up. Get a 700. Have you heard anything from BeatStars? That's sort of an older one.
Yeah, nothing at all. I mean, honestly, those two things I throw on there, but I don't ever expect to see that money again.
Yeah. Well, it'd be good if you got like updates or something. You know, if they send out quarterly updates or something, you can kind of follow along the path. But
yeah, I should probably check. I mean,
it's weak if they're not sending anything out. It's not.
I don't get any updates, but I might have opted out. I don't remember, to be honest. I'll check it for the next update. I think that'll be interesting for the next.
And like Black Ops did crowdfunding as well, very similar to how you invested in BeatStars. And I almost think they're required to send out like a quarterly update, because I get them, because I also invested like $500 just to be part of that little crowdfunding round. So I don't know, take a look. It might be worth it.
Yep, I might do that. So just kind of quickly run through everything. The reason why Shab jumped out so much is that's what I put the 80K in MLPs in. I basically liquidated most of my cash out of my accounts. That was one of my goals from last quarter, was just to hoard less cash. I also decided not to take the $74,000 SBA loan. I was kind of holding, like I had gone through the whole process. I got approved. And there was like one final step before they would deposit the money in my account. And I'd just been kind of holding off on that. And I've decided I don't need the money for anything. There's nothing I want to invest in. And I just don't even want to deal with having that headache kind of over me. So that's gone. I also decided not to invest or buy that property here in Sri Lanka. I realized that the reason why I wanted to buy it was really just to say I had a property in Sri Lanka and a reason to come back. But I realized I'd much rather just have cash in something else, like the MLPs that are paying me, and I can just pay for hotels out of pocket. So I'm not going to be buying any property anytime soon. You know, a lot of it was kind of hearing your horror stories, having 8 properties and not being able to go to any of them and having to deal with them. So, you know, for me, I decided it's not worth my effort to do that. And I think aside from that, the only other things I did was I put 50 grand in Worthy bonds last quarter. Those have been paying 5% interest like clockwork. Very happy. But that's the limit I can put in. So I'm just going to leave it there and let it grow. So I think the only way I can grow that is through the 5% interest. And when people use my link, and we each get a free bond. But yep, that's it. So the new calculation is if I start kind of retiring off of this and I start pulling out 4%, I should be able to live off of $33,000 a year, which is $2,700 per month. And I'm pretty comfortable with that because, you know, even if I give my parents $1,000, I still got $1,700 to live, which is kind of what I normally spend anyways. And this YouTube money is
what you're spending now on a hotel.
Oh, I know. Yeah. I mean, it's this month I'm going to be spending a lot. I'm probably going to be spending, you know, $2,500 or $3,000 because of this hotel. But it's I'm enjoying life. Like it's, you know, it's like no one can travel.
Yeah, that's the key, right? Are you enjoying life? I mean, last month I spent $16,000 in the US and I'm like, what did I get for it? Like nothing. I was kind of, you know, stressed out, not having fun. But it's expensive being here, and, you know, I'm supporting my girlfriend. So meals are times 2, pretty much everything's times 2. But,
same here as well.
Yeah. Well, that's why you got, if you need to stay in Mexico or Sri Lanka.
Yeah. Or get German girlfriends.
Yeah. Right. Well, real quick on the hotel thing. I had this experience last month where I went and stayed at this, like the nicest hotel in Charlotte called the Ballantine. And I was thinking, okay, if I wanted to stay here all month, because normally if you stay in a hotel for a month, if you tell them you want a rate for a month, you can get a much, much better rate.
Yep.
A, because it's longer, and B, because they don't have to pay the hotel taxes on it because it's a long-term stay. So they can cut out all their taxes. And let's just say you were dropping $200 on average a night, which would be in like a nice hotel for a month. That's $6,000, right? But for that experience, normally you stay for a month, you can work in free breakfast, you can work in laundry, you know, you got all your like printing and shit done. So, and you have basically a full-time staff in every capacity to help you out, right? You have people cleaning your maid, making your food, all this stuff. So that's $6,000 a month. You have the ultimate luxury life with zero headache. As long as you can pay the money, you have zero headache.
Yep.
But if you buy a house, and it's becoming my experience, you buy a house, you have all the headache, right? And you don't have the staff to take care of you and all this stuff. So I actually think like the most pimp life would be just stay in 5-star hotels all the time with a nice room and for like long periods of time, like, you know, spend a quarter and stay in a Ritz-Carlton, 4 different places during the year for 3 months each. And you will have zero headaches. You'll be in a robe like Johnny every single day with zero, you know, no worries and all the good stuff. Just got to be able to pay the money.
Yeah, it's definitely true. Money, 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 money. Or
some dirty underwear in the corner. I'm just joking.
There's a swan on my bed, though. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, nice swan.
Yeah, I'll bring the swan.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I just destroyed the swan. My girlfriend's gonna kill me. But yeah, it's been really nice staying here. And normally this place is $200 a night, or at least 100 something bucks a night. And it's only because there's no travel now. They discounted it to $50 a night because I'm staying long term.
Wow.
So $1,500 a month, including breakfast, and it's a fucking amazing breakfast. And speaking of the service, you know, it was like, yeah, everything's taken care of. I remember the second day I was here, I went for a swim, and while I was swimming, you know, this beautiful, like it's longer than an Olympic-sized pool. It's like 55 meters or something. And I was thinking, crap, I should have turned on the steam room so I could have a steam, you know, right after the swim.
Yeah.
Because it takes some time to heat up. And I was thinking like, oh crap, okay, I'll do it tomorrow. I get out of the water and I start drying off, and the hotel staff says, sir, I've preheated the steam room for you.
Oh, wow.
And I said, how did you know I wanted it? Because I just thought it to myself underwater. And he's like, well, I noticed that yesterday after your swim, you took a steam. So I figured I would preheat it for you this time. And I thought, oh my God. And that's the day.
Try to get that service in America.
Yeah, that was the moment. I mean, you can get it in America, but you have to be staying at a Ritz-Carlton, right? Like
$1,000 a night. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the moment I said, I'm going to stay here for a month. Because I originally just booked 5 days, and I was like, this is the place.
It's hard to return from the luxury life, Johnny.
I know.
It's a black hole, man. You can never have enough of it.
Yeah. But we gotta enjoy ourselves. I'm glad we're both in a position where we're not, you know, selling fruit on the side of the street trying to survive.
You read some philosophy, they'll tell you that's okay.
Yeah, actually it is. Yeah, you know, it's not too bad. But Sam, it's fun catching up.
The quality of your thoughts equals the quality of your life.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah.
Any other wise philosophy you want to leave us with this quarter?
No. One thing that they talk about too is like you should only read or study one thing at a time. And I'm like 40 pages into 25 books.
Oh my God. Don't do that, Sam. Don't do that.
Yeah, it's bad. It's a rabbit hole, man. Stuff's pretty addicting, I'll be honest. But no, it's been good. Patreons, I hope everyone had a good quarter and starting to see the light out of COVID. I mean, can't argue. It's been a difficult year professionally and personally, but hopefully turn some, you know, make something good out of this year, some personal insights, some personal development. And, you know, 2021 will be a better year.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And guys, we have 125 of you now. And at total, we have $931 a month. Thank you so much. You have made it so much easier for Sam and I to continue to make these not only quarterly episodes, which are Patreon only, besides for the preview for the other people, but also just having 3 or 4 episodes a month and be able to pay Derek. So now Derek has been upgraded from intern to producer. Congrats, Derek.
Right. Nice, Derek.
Yeah. And we started to give him a profit share too for the episodes that he's going to be helping out with, that he's either going to be on or doing the interviews itself. So uh, we really hope you stay on as a Patreon. It's really helping a lot. As long as we can keep it around the $1,000 a month range, we can afford to pay him. We can afford to pay all the editing with Anthony and all the other kind of hosting costs. And anything more on top of that is going to be some profit, which hopefully will encourage Sam to continue sharing all his numbers and making these investments. Because honestly, I haven't even seen a lot of those things. So appreciate you sharing. And
definitely. Yeah. And I think also part of it, we've talked about this before, Johnny, but this doing ILAB forces us to be active, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of investments that we simply would not make if we were not doing this show, because we would have less things to talk about, frankly. So it's been good. It's been a good journey. Thank you to the Patreons, because again, just to underline that, like, we at this point we couldn't do it without Derek. He's been instrumental in helping just get things done top to bottom, and he's going to be playing a more active role. It's been tremendous having him on this year. And again, without your support, Patrons, we couldn't do it. So thank you. And we'll try to return value in the form of, more insights, more investments, and more episodes like this.
Yeah. So leave a comment below this and we'll get back to you either on the Patreon or in the next video. But yeah, we love you guys and gals. So thanks so much. Sam, enjoy your time in self-quarantine.
Yeah. COVID free, baby.
COVID free since 93.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, guys.
Good luck in Q4. See you guys.